Caution is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Summoner Wars 2nd Edition, which I absolutely have to give Plaid Hat Games praise because I hated this game, like whenever I was first in the hobby. The first edition just absolutely pissed me off, and it really just kind of came down to, like, whenever you're fighting, like, I believe it was literally a D6. And it was like, oh, okay, missed, and it's just like, what the fuck is the point of anything that I'm doing if I'm always going to be missing here? But I gotta say, 2nd edition is a lot of fun. Granted, I also have come around to the 1v1, because I also hated Magic and games like that at that time. But my perspective has changed quite drastically, where I love unique, like, factions and 1v1 head-to-head kind of games, and this is exactly that, but it is cleaner, streamlined, but you still get that kind of skirmish, that quick skirmish with very simple rules, yet interesting kind of like gameplay. And I mean, it's quick, like, but still has some depth to it. So this is one that I'm absolutely excited to keep getting, because, I mean, from what I understand, they have a bunch of factions planned. They had a shit ton in 1st edition.
I mean, that's good.
So yeah, Josh, what do you think?
Even though I got stomped, this game is really fun.
Yeah.
The uniqueness so far from the different factions I've played, they do play drastically different from one another.
Yep.
I played the goblins in this. Goblins I did a little better. I never did damage to you, however. I think the only thing I don't like this versus the other games is I have to attack this person. Mm-hmm. I would think destroying your gate would be more important.
I mean, it is important. Like, if you destroy the gate, that limits drastically
the spawning,
especially because there's only 3 regular gates in your deck, and they're very much weaker. So yeah, if you pummel into the main gate, this just gets destroyed, and there's no way to go out and get it back. So I'm left with literally what I have on the board, as well as hoping to draw those gates.
Yeah.
And then wait till my next build phase to bring it out. Which then I have to wait till my next summon phase to start summoning from it.
But yeah, it plays very well. The mana system or magic generation system works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, kill a thing, get mana for it. It's very clearly cut out how your game is supposed to go on your turn. The factions so far have seemed real different. Spawning around gates. The units feel very unique, other than, like, the ways that they attack, because it's either ranged or melee.
Yeah.
And then, like, your guys have to deal with buffing one another. Mine were like, if I kill a thing, I can teleport, essentially, and transfer souls. I can deal damage to myself to resurrect stuff. It's very nice. I like the placement of the grid. That half's yours, this half's mine.
Yeah.
And then, like, you can only put a gate in the first back 3 or around your champion.
Yep.
Game's very solid.
Yeah, what's interesting is, because what a lot of people loved about Summoner Wars was its actual price point. A lot of skirmish games, which is exactly what this is, which skirmish games I usually don't go for because they're either extremely fiddly or there never really seems like I don't know, it's weird because it's like I never get anything out of it. There's never any depth to them for me. But they also are expensive because they're miniatures. And with this one, it's the only game that I'm aware of that actually uses cards as your units.
Yeah, I was looking around. You don't have the game Rage anymore, I don't think.
Rage? You mean 8?
No, it was Rage, I thought. Rage was it came with miniatures. They were pre-built, really, really detailed miniatures.
From the graphic novel, like the really brutal graphic novel about like Mother Earth being like raped, and it was like this apocalypse, like post-apocalypse.
I can't remember.
Did it have, was it like a really detailed pig?
I didn't get
like with like chainmail on it.
Yes. Hate.
Yeah.
Hate, not rage.
I mean, synonyms there.
Synonyms. But yeah, I don't know how much that game costs. But
I mean, it was pretty expensive, and also it was boring. Like, that's the thing. But here, because of the uniqueness of the faction abilities and how you actually get combos off one another, placement matters, maneuvering matters, how you're going to attack matters, because it's like you can either all focus on one to try and weaken the champion, and hope you kill it, but you're only going to gain one magic for that, or you can try and whittle down the rest of them to try and gain more magic, because that's going to be more that you can do on your turn.
Yes.
I do like that, because it's also kind of a risk reward. You can either have one champion in your hand, like I had Miti Mumwe, who cost 8, and just sit on. It's like, okay, I'm going to try and kill 2 of yours. I'm going to burn 4 cards from my hand just to get 4 magic, and just so I can, on my next turn, play him. What's interesting is that because it's a skirmish game, we just played their other game, Ashes, and we were talking about how, like, you have your turn and I have my turn, and there's no interaction really between the two. It works here, though, because it would be really annoying if you spent like the whole game saving up for 8 mana, and then it's like, oh, I'm actually going to cancel that.
I think the key difference is like that's a deck building card game.
Yeah.
Where this is, I don't know if you can deck build in this, but like, even
deck customization, yeah.
Even the deck building part, you still have a grid,
right?
And you have to abide by the grid.
Yeah.
So this mitigates a lot of like, oh well, intangibly, I'm just gonna attack you with these 3 things from however far fucking away I am.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna block with X amount of so and so's. So this grid mitigates all of that.
Right.
Where that's why this works and the other one doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. This one I'm actually just floored, because whenever this was mentioned that they were making a second edition, my friend who liked the first edition was telling me about it, and I'm like, fuck that. Like, there's no way I'm going to get it. And then I tried the demo.
And you're like, I guess.
I'm like, all right, I'm like, that wasn't as agonizing. And the big key difference here is these custom dice.
Yeah, these were real nice.
Like, you're almost always going to hit. And that's rewarding. At
least once, because these seem pretty.
There is only one miss for melee, and I think the
one miss for range.
2. Is there 1, 2, 3?
Oh, there is 2 misses for range.
4. Yeah.
So you have a 2 and 3 chance to hit, or
66%.
Yeah, 66% chance to hit with range.
Yeah.
And then 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
So 90-something%.
Yeah.
To hit with melee.
With melee. And what they did is they rebalanced the actual like common units. Like some of them actually have more health to kind of keep them around to compensate for the fact that you're most likely going to hit. But it's rewarding.
Yeah.
Even if you don't kill it, then at least you hit it. Besides constantly missing.
I noticed the leveling between like. So, for instance, both of our archers have 3 attack power, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But to mitigate that,
my archers have 2. Oh well,
him in particular, they have 3 attack power and have 2 health.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of them dying still very high.
Right. It's an extremely quick skirmish game that almost borderlines on filler because of just how quickly your units die.
Yeah.
But that's good because that means that you're going to be generating magic to be able to do something cool on your next turn, and it works for both sides.
Yes. I like that a lot of the wording, especially for this deck, says just a unit. It doesn't say enemy units, it doesn't say friendly units, it just says units.
Yeah.
Which that, in most games, if anything dies and it triggers something, it's pretty nuts
Yeah.
that it gets to do that.
Yeah. There's also some pretty good strategy with the gates, is if because typically, in my experience with the first edition, is you just kind of wanted to turtle up with your summoner. You never really wanted to do anything with them. But I mean, the goblins want to, like, he just wants to have his 0 rush and then be like, oh, now it's me, and then he hits them and then he backs out again. She was interesting because she could hit for a shit ton of damage from range, but she didn't have as much health. But she was kind of maneuvering around to boost all her other units to make them stronger. And then he was all about taking some damage to it could be anyone. If I killed your champion, you can be like, oh, 2 damage, he's back.
He's back.
And it's like, it took forever to kill him.
And then also, like, I could go to discard my champions, and then the next turn pay 2 life and just summon them.
Oh my god, I didn't even think you could do that. Yeah, that's true.
You discard them to get magic, and then boom.
That's why you were like, I didn't draw any of my champions, and I was like, yeah, they're kind of expensive, and you're just like, not for me. They're only 2 life.
That's why I was
didn't
like,
even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I was like, okay, what's he do? Oh, graveyard recursion, that's broken somehow.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I can discard cards.
Yeah, I'm just gonna discard my. But they were all 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
6,
were
6. You have 3 champions, 6, 6, 6. Satan. Yeah, that's interesting because I'm over here saving up 8 magic like an idiot, and then you're just like, I have 1.
I'm gonna
2 life. Yeah.
I'm gonna just stab my heart real quick, and then
And then he shows up, and it's like, oh,
because like my champions were nuts.
because it's also really cool because your decks aren't. They're not super thin because once you run out, you're out, and you're left with whatever you got.
That is brutal.
But they're also not super thick that you're most likely going to be able to get what you want, especially because you can willingly discard down and to try and search for that particular card. And I also like the fact that you're not limited. I mean, you're limited on how many units can move and how many units you can attack with, but there's ways around that. Like the goblins, once again, they have relentless, so it's like, okay, we have these other ones that I'm going to pick for my 3, and then these 3 other relentless goblins are going to attack, so now I'm attacking with 6 units. And it's like, ugh!
Yeah, like, okay, so my best one, in my opinion, is like Elute Ball. It's 6 mana, 6 health, 6 attack dice. But it says summoned by fire. If I paid the cost, so if I paid the 6, I could destroy a unit, and then he comes in with whatever unit I just destroyed. So I just play him wherever.
Oh, interesting.
This one has life drain. I can destroy a friendly unit within 2 spaces of wherever he's attacking, and then all of the lightning bolts on a dice count as a hit.
Oh, ew.
And then Wraith.
So he's melee?
Yeah.
So there are... Okay, there's only 1 result on this die that would be 2 hits, which is still nasty.
And then...
No, actually, you would never miss.
Yeah, you can't miss. Yeah. And then this guy says for each damage on him, he gets an extra strength. And he has 8 health.
8 health. Is there a max on that?
I mean, up until he dies. So he could be at 1.
Because like some of mine said max 5. So he could get like 9.
7.
I'm
gonna take 9 dice and just roll. That's all of them, I think.
Well, I'll go over my champions that now look like shit compared to those monsters.
I mean,
good thing you never drew them.
Yeah.
So we all saw Mitwi Mumway. Mini Mumway. He just has 11 health.
It's what's his name? Treebeard. He's an Ent.
Yeah.
Treant.
Yep, he has imbued strength. He gets +1 strength for each boost on icon, and he has trample, dealing damage. He can just run through common units,
which is real nifty.
It worked out. I honestly, the only reason I did right, he's just like, but it was I honestly, the only reason I did as well as I did was I had the perfect event combo. Where it's
That's
like
true.
I had enough to summon him next to the Rhino, and then I had the other one that swapped, that they gave each other their powers.
Yeah.
But then I have Makenda Rue. She has 9 health. Prepare. So she's literally like the border archers, Instead of moving this unit, you can boost it once per turn. After this unit attacks, you may spend 1 boost to resolve an attack with it. Gross. So literally, it's just the same thing, except she has 5 extra health. And then I have a lion.
Oh, nice.
I just realized. Miti, hold on. Let me go over my champions.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt you. No. Miti Kuru. Inspire. After this unit moves, boost each friendly adjacent unit. And withdraw. After this unit attacks, you may spend either 1 boost or 1 magic. If you do, force this unit 1 or 2 spaces. So he can get in, boost everyone, then get out.
That's pretty good.
Not as nasty, but all of my characters basically boost each other.
He's not as good as I thought. It specifically says undead. It has to have undead on the card.
Oh, okay.
None of these say undead.
Okay, I was like, ew!
For 2 life,
yeah.
I'm just gonna...
But still, like, 6 magic is...
it's pretty low.
That is pretty low. It's not impossible to get up to 6, especially if you have like 2 of them in your hand. Because he can just summon, you'll almost always have units. You could save up and be like, okay, I have 12 now. Boom, these guys are here. So yeah, I'm super excited. I have seen. I don't remember who it was in the fucking demo. I know for a fact it was the goblins, but I can't remember if it was the clerics. It was one of I know it wasn't the elves. It was either her.
It was one of the female leaders.
Which is like 3. There's 4 females actually here, so I don't remember. But I've seen another one played. Then we the elves and then the undead now. So
it's one of the blue ones.
But yeah, also they do plan. I don't think you can do it outside of the base game. From what I understand, from what I was told, you can't deck construct yet. However,
they're getting there.
You can construct your own summoner decks by mixing cards from different faction decks. To construct a custom, you have to have a summoner, 1 10 life gate, 3. It gives you basically a list. You can do 2 starting units of your summoner. You have to have the 2 epic events, and then 6 standard events, 3 champion units, and 16 common units. Each unit and event in your deck must have at least 1 deck symbol. So like these right here, they have to match. So you can only build with her units that have those 3 symbols.
I see. Kind of like in Commander, you can only use colors of your commander.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like deck construction that's limiting like that. Otherwise, I think it's too wide open.
Yeah, it's too ambiguous.
Yeah, that's why I like Commander so much, because you pick a commander and you build off of that.
You have to pick from the colors listed.
And a theme, really.
And a theme, usually,
So I like that, because Summoner Wars, if it was just like, oh, pick a summoner and deck construct. Here's all the cards. It's like I don't want to do that. I don't have the time.
Yes, Plaid Hat Games. This really, really impressive.
For the record, Guardians is also Plaid Hat.
Oh, well, Guardians is also a very good game.
Right. So Plaid Hat typically does solid 1v1s. This has been one of their staples for a very long time.
Yes, this is far better than the other game.
Do you have any negatives? I mean, you could always say, a negative for a lot of people could still be dice, but these dice are way fucking better. The gates make sense, actually, because the other ones, you in first edition, you had, like I said, walls, and you summoned from your walls, and it didn't make any thematic sense.
Gotcha.
But here it's like, yeah, we're gonna pull up a gate and then, run through that to fight each other. You could also, people could say, oh, you didn't get any champions, so that's why.
I guess my 2 biggest things are card advantage, but like you get to discard and then draw that many.
You'll always have at least 5.
Yeah, I can't. I guess my biggest negative, and this is gonna sound real petty, it's that your cards are sideways.
It is very weird to be like, oh, time to draw. Oh, now I have to weirdly hold these. Yeah.
I kept doing it like I was holding my cards like this.
Yeah. It's extremely strange.
That's really all I got. This game is very solid.
Yeah. To counteract the fact that it's like, yes, I happen to draw champions and you didn't, or whatever example you want to give for drawing cards, the games are super short.
I can't complain.
It's like, okay, yeah, let's just quickly do it again.
I have no real negatives, really.
What do you think of the art?
It's weird. It's nice. It's fun.
Yeah. It's not like grungy or gritty art. It's very high fantasy, colorful, vibrant art.
Cartoony.
Yeah. It is really good.
It's fantastic art. It's not like gritty realism or it's fanciful, and that's kind of what they were going for, and I think it matches really nicely.
Yeah.
Artwork's good. The card structure is good. I don't like that it's sideways, but it makes sense.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, this is way better than if the grid was like this.
Oh yeah, by far.
It would just be odd at that point.
But no, it works really well, really well.
Yeah.
So before we score it, do you remember what you gave the first one?
I didn't record the first one.
Oh, okay.
It was never on the channel. But for multiple top 10s, for multiple lists, anytime Summoner Wars was mentioned, I always, I think I'm in the process of doing the top 50 worst games of all time, and I'm pretty sure the first edition is somewhere on there. So I would probably have to redo that list because I really, thinking back, I mean, I really hated it. It probably would have been around a 2 or a 3.
Wow.
It pissed me off. With just how fucking stupid it was. And I know there were a bunch of factions in there that ended up getting really broken because they had so many that were just they just didn't really play test them. So you're just hoping that didn't happen with this.
2, 3 from the first edition, this is way better than that.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one that I'm actually excited to get factions. This is one that we could do a tournament for with more factions.
And I would be willing to do that.
Right? Because, I mean, they're super quick. You just, okay. Now we have the elves going up against them again. We'll see for a rematch. Because we do the tournament stuff now. But I definitely want to get more factions out before we do that. Of
course, get them played.
Yeah. If by the time they get maybe 15 factions, I think that'd be a good number for at
15
least.
or 16.
Yeah.
16 would be pretty good.
That's true.
You have
you'd have
8 brackets.
Yeah. That's true, and then it would go down to, I think it was 4, then 2, then 1. Yeah, that'd actually be a pretty good tournament.
That way you wouldn't have buys.
And you can have a tournament 1 with those out, then do another set.
do loser brackets.
Right. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 9.
Man, I'm right there with you.
It is.
This is a 9.
I would... Yeah, just because how much I hated the first one, and it was just simple mechanisms of making it fast, still deep gameplay, and the dice. If you're gonna add randomness, at least give it to where.
Look at all them hits.
The odds of you missing are very low. Because you're not sitting there oh god, okay, I just need to do 2 damage to that cultist. Wow, I missed again. I'm not gaining any magic. Nope, it's
a 5 and a 6. Going from
I think that's what it was.
A 1 in 3 chance to ever hit.
Yeah.
That's fucking
It was
rough.
something really, really stupid. I'm almost 100% positive it was a 5 or 6 to hit. But like I said, it's been 5 years since I played it, so it's I'm not sitting here with a visceral hate for first edition. I held on to it like a child, but I remember really not liking it, and for me to do basically a whole 180 on that.
Yeah.
And okay, yep, this is fantastic. More factions.
3 times as good.
Yeah. So yeah, you got anything else? Cool. You give it a 9, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a 9 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a perfect score is because, it's just, simplicity-wise, I can't see this being a 10 compared to other games I've gave a 10.
Sure. No, that's kind of where I'm at, too. A 9 is still absolutely fantastic.
This game is superb.
I'm gonna dock it a point, so it's not a 10 because the insert sucks ass.
I can't
It
say
is
that.
literally just, there's really not one. If they came with a plastic one that you can put the, at least put the decks in, there's not even that.
How much was this?
Oh, that's a good question. Because I remember I pre-ordered it, and let's see, I can find that for you real quick. The Summoner. It was $50.
50? Yeah, I'll dock it the point from 10 for that.
Right.
I wouldn't spend $50 for this.
I would. I think the price is dead on because you get 6 factions, great artwork. I mean, if this had minis, it would be $300.
That's so true.
So, yeah, and then I think that was also... Well, actually, it might have been 50 because I believe this is also on that same website, the subscription service.
Oh, okay.
So, which the subscription, I think, is free. However, it guarantees you get... When they announce a new faction and it's getting released...
You get a chance
they just charge you. So you are guaranteed to get it.
I see.
It is a fantastic service, and I think they did that with... they did it with Ashes as well, but... Yeah. So, that's why I'm going to give it a 9. But anyway... That's our thoughts on Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.